Phoenix is that oil company?
Yeah, I had our District One, Montana Association of County Foresight on Monday. The legislative update and different things that NACO is doing for the counties. Tuesday, I testified on a rate hearing for Northwest Energy in Helena, an increase in favor of that. They're getting more base load power in Montana, which I think is very much needed. Or complaining that the rates are gonna go up, and they're gonna go up now, we'll get more base load power, or wait 10 years, we don't have any base load power, we're buying it off the grid. We're really, so that was kind of a testimony. Then yesterday we had a Montana oil, coal, gas. Baker has a Dunbarry there, the Dunbarry's CO2. Colorado pump seal down oil wells and they get their production back about when they first started the well. Tremendous that lasts for about 12 months. So it just gets the rest of that oil out of that field that well is on, so they don't have to re-drill anything, they just pump CO2 down. They get the CO2 back, they recover the CO2, and the process. It's called the Anacline Field, and Exxon Mobil owns it right now, and it's sales, so it's kind of flux right now. So we're doing a whole lot the next month until it's sold. But Exxon still has a big major CO2 cavern, Wyoming, that they put down. And the Montana Oil Board was there talking about permitting, permitting is down from what it was, 10, 2010 and 14. But they're getting more production, they're getting longer legs, so they can basically do the 3 wellheads on 1 well right now. Production and go up 3 or 4 mile leg. They've done 3. There's a 4-legged, 4-mile leg permitted right now. Starting drilling. roundabout permitting is done pretty much around Culbertson. There's, well, Gasport said there's a couple. Drill permit. Get a little more activity. Oil stays around. They said that's all based on $70 a barrel. I've never really heard that. These permits are gonna go if it stays around that $70 a barrel. If it goes much below that, it's the 50, they probably won't. If it's above that, then they're really, 70 is kind of what they're shooting for. I always heard it was 50, but the guy said it was 70 now. They'll really drill 70. Oh. Montana Petroleum Association was there, and the Montana Department of Justice. Paper. That's all I had. Administrative issues. We have an invoice for Danville Museum, seniors for $2, and they have 15,000 budget for that. They have a budget for it, so motion accepts the invoice. Danville content for 2,000.
I'll make. We need a motion on the compensation board recommendation. The compensation board recommended $2,600 raised for the elected officials. Now this would just be, well, motion to accept the recommendation. This is off the clerk and recorder's base salary, so this increases the base salary by $2,600. Base salary today is $71,232. This is strictly just the election schedule. Then deputies are deputy departments are on this. Sheriffs and they're under sheriff deputy. Questions on? Okay, we got action on the 2025 pay adjustments for these individual departments. We got the county weed, county Roosevelt County salary schedule, fair, Roosevelt County Museum, public health. Within the public health, there's 2-year and 4-year RN health, public health, Rockland workers, water workers, water. So one at a time, the salary schedule for the county weed. Do we want to make a motion for all of this open stuff?
Let's just do one at a time.
We'll want to put, because county weed is.
Well, this doesn't have anything to do with department. Department heads are based on a percent salary of the clerk and recorder. So this is just the workers within the week.
Oh, okay.
One of these days, salary.
These are the work.
Like Logan, he's 90% or 85% off the clerk and recorder. So this would be his employee.
Okay. Yeah, I just wanted, I can get for myself.
Talk about $1 increase.
Yeah. I'll make motion that we.
Right.
Favor say aye. We go to the Roosevelt County salaries. That has, everybody is based in that, the ones that don't have, again, any of these specific things, or, be like Erica's workers, workers over at the health department that aren't RNs. So it's just the kind of the general population that's not either a deputy, they're not a certain schedule, other schedule. This is just their regular Roosevelt County.
I'd like to speak up on behalf of, those folks at the health department. I've got,
We don't have a motion on the field yet.
oh, sorry.
Or yet. We don't have a motion.
Almost motion that general population.
Second to that. Second. Hey, Commissioner, discuss first, then we'll open it up, and, so, this is all the people that, like say, aren't on the schedules, aren't a deputy. They're kind of the backbone of the workers that support everybody. And this goes up to a grade 3, range 8, $24.04 an hour as of today, 2504, this motion passed. But you've been here so long and you've worked here, you know, you've worked your way up from grade 1 range, you've done all the grade 2s, you've done all the grade 3s, you hit that maximum of 2404, you don't ever go up again. Just get the COLA and you just get the thing. It's not that we don't appreciate the person, it's not that they're not valued. And basically the only way to get off of that would be to become a deputy or become move up within the ranks of some other way. And that is an issue. And I don't know if we need to look at adding a few more grades to this. Because a top grade on this would be 2504 as of after today, but you just keep on getting your COLA, so you never really get ahead. So that's kind of what Betty's talking about here for these general populations. You never gain, you just cover what your CPI is, so you never really gain a whole lot. That's the tough one to find the answer for. So their wages on that would be $52,082 for someone who is just on the general pay scale. There's 52,000 a pretty good wage, plus $8 health benefits, plus other things. I don't know if we need to add a couple more grades, but we can't do that now because it'd be for next year's thing. But maybe I should look at that maybe. But that is a problem with this schedule. Once you reach the top, and there's probably 10, 12 people, not increase that, have reached the top of this pay scale. You just get the percent increase. You don't get any additional. Most people get that percent increase of $1 or 1% plus they get their steps and grades. It's, it increases their pay, but once you reach the top of this pay scale, you just get the percent. And then a lot of businesses, private businesses, you're paid so much per hour and then you get a raise of 3% or you don't get both. In normal businesses, they should never do both. You just get a raise. If that's, so it's a little different with government or on structured schedule. The only way to change that would be to add more steps and grades and ranges.
So within this salary schedule, if you're top, you're top. But if you're not at the top, you get your annual raise plus this.
Yep, that's kind of what Betty was talking about. If you're grade 2, range 8, you move up to grade 3, range 5, you're gonna get $1 increase plus that. Or moving your grades steps after your work experience. But it maxes out at grade 3, range 8.
And with this, it'll put it, if you're not there yet, it'll add $1 to it.
Yeah, because you're not there, you get $1 plus you'll get your grade step that month, but there's some people that are at that top, so they'll be making $52,082 a year. Is that a good wage for somebody that's at this level? Or, that's what we have to debate on. I think maybe look at that in the future and see, compare that to how other things that the, you know, in our local area are. Patty, what comment?
I really support that you do look at that. For instance, I've had someone topped out for years and years, and now she obtained another associate degree, and it happens to be in coding and just what we needed. She was studying what we needed at the time we needed it for medical billing, and it helped us tremendously. And at the health department, we do have nurses, and I don't apologize for what nurses make because of the responsibility that we have, but we have them, and then we have the other folks that do more work than they're compensated for. There's gotta be something in the middle.
Yeah, I mean, there's an issue with about, I would say probably 10 people that are at that.
Yeah, I had somebody leave about, so I'm never gonna get paid for it.
Well, they always did the increase, but say it's 52,000 fair or not.
What's the insurance?
Plus the insurance $80, plus PRS. How maybe just food for thought, just throwing it out there of maybe people topped out of longevity, because they have temporary. Something else thrown in it to be something longevity. People have been. And that's, you know, there's people on the road department and the sheriff's department, you know, they're maxed out.
I mean, I get all sides of it. It's tough to make a living. Is 52,000 a year enough? You know, some houses maybe not, some houses maybe still. There's something that a guy can do for somebody that's going above and beyond. Is there a way to put them in another category and possibly would get a taxpayer dollar? I don't want to lose anybody.
And I think of that salary schedule we got coming is gonna be done throughout all the counties, 6 counties. I think that's gonna tell us
Yeah.
a lot of this, where we're at, everybody, all the other counties. And I think that, and after we get that, we might have to add a range case 9. Yeah. I'm sure look at that. I wanna see where we're at with everybody else. Valley County and some of these similar counties. Then we'll know that.
And I think for some of these, you know, I've got it pulled up on my screen, grade 1, grade 2, and some of them are duplicated. I guess I would like to get some information from other counties and kind of clean that up so they can. Some of it's pretty redundant anymore, I think. Seems like 20. But then on the other side of it, you know, everybody's capped out. Nurses are capped out, the county attorney's capped out, every elected official is capped out. So something that we need to look into. But as far as sometimes people just tap out the top of the salary schedule.
The other discussion. All increase. All fair, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Carried. Fair. This isn't the fair manager, this would be the fair workers. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Passes. It's Roosevelt County Museum.
Make a motion for $1 per hour salary increase.
Second. Good. Discussion and comments. All in favor, say aye. Aye. Then we got public health. We are having a shortage of public health and, I'd recommend $1 to $1.50. For a 4-year RN, 2-year RN, and public health director. That's who's on that schedule. So I guess that's in motion to go, how much you wanna do for RNs? Well, I mean, we're having struggle with it. Only post for $1.50.
So six,
So this is $1.50 for RNs for 2-year. Public health salary schedule, we have 4-year RN, and 2-year RN, and health director. Public health director is 4606. 4-year RN is 3912, 2-year RN is 3777. Currently got the schedule. Motion to increase that by $1.50. See if we can get, we've had a RN and a director position open for a long time. We want various positions there, so maybe this might help a little bit. And I told Patty, make sure when you're talking to people and promoting people to talk up the insurance and talk up the ERS along with the salary. You know, comments, Patty?
well, the reason for the extra 50 cents in on this one, the reason I seconded that is just because of the struggle that we have had to try and find, whether it's a 2-year, 4-year director, we've been on the hunt for 6-8 months now, to try and find, Patty's struggling. She has talked to us and she has volunteered to, if we can find a director without a nurse, she would be willing to step back into the nursing position and give up her director position just to keep her office going. So she's been willing to make changes in her office any way she can to find somebody to fill that. So hopefully with this little extra in there, that'll entice somebody. $1.50 on top of that is going to put it in probably a short $48 an hour for a nurse with experience, with the health insurance benefit to it. I mean, that's a pretty good chunk of coin.
Patty did say tribes are paying $42 an hour, and after this, we'll be paying $40.72. A little closer to the tribes.
So can you have a director that's not a nurse?
You can. Oh.
Yeah, that.
And sometimes I think there might be an advantage to it because you don't get pulled into doing the nursing duties when.
I think they ought to try that at the schools.
And I'd like to make a note, thanks for bringing that up, Betty. If we do get somebody that would be willing to be the director that doesn't have the nursing degree, that would have to be another pay scale in under the public health sector. Because the public health director is listed on our pay scale as being a nurse and doing the director position. So I just want to clarify that. If you come in with a heck of a business degree, but no nursing, we added the nursing and the public health director as one unit. So there would be an adjustment to that director's salary according to the experience and to your needs. I just wanted to make clarification to that. So it might not be at that dollar amount.
It'll be negotiated.
And I still would like to get numbers together for you for what's going on in the rest of the state.
Yeah, any information's good on that, so we make sure we're in line with everybody. Any other questions or comments on that?
That was the 4 year and the 2 years, well, that was all.
2 years of public health. That was, they were short. That's this pay, that's this schedule. Health department, or public health schedule. Okay, that's for $1.15 an hour, all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye, opposed, motion carries. We got the Brockton workers, and then the water tester that does 8 hours a day. Motion to increase their wages.
I'll make a motion to increase, both positions $1 an hour.
Okay, second, discussion or comment? Favor, say aye.
Aye.
Passes. Well, I guess we have we didn't ever do. I was asked on the election administrator, right now they get additional 2. She asked for an additional $1,000 there. Right now we give them 3,000 to superintendent schools, 2,000 to elected administration, and 4,000 to the sheriff court. And election administrators asking for another 1,000, so I would put her at 3,000 per year addition for election. Elections are getting a lot more complicated and cumbersome and taking a lot more.
Okay, so then do I get the extra 1,000 as well?
What do you get right now?
Same as Tracy.
Or what? And I don't see it on there.
Assessor, right?
Mm,
Treasurer assessor.
Hardly that, but mostly motor vehicle. You might also want to check in statute on that.
We'll table that, and check on. Or we'll table that, I haven't done it yet. Okay, we'll move on then with that.
I'll trade her.
You'll trade? You'll be election?
Yeah, she'll do election, she can do motor vehicle.
Yes, sir. See if she'd like to do that.
No.
No, you won't. Let's hope then. Oh, you're tied in. Okay, let's move on then. Resolution, motion to accept resolution 2025-19.
I'll make a motion.
Megan,
I'll second. Sorry.
remember what this all included.
This was, this was the, but what, there was 2 resolutions, right? The resolution, is this a resolution of intent?
Well, that's what it is.
This is a resolution of intent.
Resolution intent to establish Roosevelt County PACE program. Can you explain, Tori, what the PACE program is?
Yeah, so it's through the Montana Facility Finance Authority. And they mostly focus on healthcare facilities and financing for healthcare, but they have this one product called the Commercial Property Assessment Capital Enhancement Program. And so just the gist of it is if there's a property owner that's trying to do some improvements involving, energy efficiency, there's some other one-off things that they can use the funds for too. If the county is opted into the program, that particular person can tap into this funding source. So the way it works is they get an additional assessment on their taxes, and that portion gets paid over a longer period of time to the lender that gives them the money for these energy improvements. So there's really not a lot of extra work on the side of the county other than adding that extra payment onto their tax bill twice a year and then sending that money to the state. But we can bring in Carolyn Jones, who runs the program too, if you have further questions for the public meeting. But it's pretty much low burden. There might be 1 or 2 properties in your county at a time that are utilizing this. It's just another lending opportunity for hopefully improving some of these smaller or older buildings that we have, just to get them more used.
We did that with the city in Culver's once. We did that for improvements that you're outside and then put it on taxes. Pay it back.
Oh,
Interesting that. That was 15 years ago. It sounds like the same company.
it's a similar concept. Yep. And I have just a couple of those. I emailed it to you as well, but PowerPoint videos.
Yeah, this was the intent to establish it. Then there was another.
And then you have to do like
after this.
Public meeting.
Right away or?
Meeting.
Oh,
Yeah, so you do public meeting, which you can do right before like Macomb County is just gonna do it right before their normal commissioner meeting, and then you can.
You want us to do that next time we have a meeting? That'd be July 1. Is that too soon?
I'm trying to think if I'm gonna be,
We have to advertise it for 2 weeks.
yeah. Might wanna wait and do it.
End of July.
Yeah, there's no projects right now pending. The reason we push Macomb because there's an actual client that's wanting to use it.
So we'll have Sam put that in the paper then. You're gonna,
Yeah.
you get something for us to put in the paper?
Yep, I have examples of.
Yeah.
Yep.
Well, it sounds like a good program. It can help one or two people. That's good.
So it's better to have it in the, have this done ahead of time, that way.
Yeah.
They know over there that, hey, we're on board with this, so if they get somebody that comes in, then we're not like Macomb County and having to scramble to get it done. So we get programs down.
So what happens when they, for some reason, get delinquent?
Yep, so the payment goes with the property. So if they're delinquent and they're not paying, obviously they're late on their taxes. They're not paying their taxes because it's all lumped into one payment. So the payment follows the property. So if it's delinquent forever and ever and ever, it's just delinquent until somebody buys that property and then continues making the tax payments on it or pays back taxes, and then that portion will go to the lender. So it follows the property, not the person. In theory, you know, they're doing improvements to the building that are increasing the property value and the values of the properties around them. And so you're hoping these people are going to be people that are making payments regularly and running a business and something. Yes,
They
ask the
improve it-
same
well, They
question.
improve the business sell.
Yes,
It'll sell
yeah.
better than if
Yeah.
it was
Yeah.
adopted.
Yeah.
That's some of the people.
We'll see how it works.
Any other questions, Billy? All in favor, say aye.
Right.
Passes. Thank you for the information. We were requested by the city of Wolf Point to request a speed study done for the Montana Department of Transportation on the east side of Wolf Point. Up Island. Motion to,
I'll make a motion. Sorry, I had another guy that wanted to get on this. I think Chris Shaw.
Chris is on.
Fun.
I'll make a motion.
Okay, I'll second. Okay, this is the Montana Department of Transportation do speed studies coming into town, but the government entity that has to do them is. This would be in the county. If it was in the city would do it. Since this is in the county, we would request it from the Montana Department of Transportation, and it usually takes them about a year. They'll come out and do a speed study, and then they'll see what the average flow of traffic is and what the safe flow of traffic is, and they'll make recommendations on where to move the signs in or out or change them. It's all done after the study. So this would be a request from the Montana Department of Transportation to do the study. Chris, you're on. Do you have a comment on that?
All right, sorry that I can't be there. But yeah, I've been approached by a few individuals westbound into the city where the hill is right at Highway 2 on the outskirts of town there. They're worried with the increase of the vehicles coming out of the dollar store parking lot, the coffee shop and such, that the speed is fast heading into town and the potential for an accident is increased. So with that, I did call Montana DOT, a Keith Bithell. I believe he's out of the Miles City or Glendive office. I can't remember. And he said due to the fact that it was out of city limits that the county would have to make the initial a talk on that. So that's why I extended it out to you guys, and I would appreciate if we can move forward on this.
So this has nothing to do with vehicles driving through town at 50 mph past the park or anything. This is more concerned on the east end of town.
Concerned on the east end of town, the slowdown, I believe, is right at the bottom of the hill going to 45, which by the time that they come over the hill, at least with the two people that I have talked to, their issue was that they have almost got into accidents because the speed carried by the vehicles entering from the east going west may exceed the speed limit. I don't know. They would just like to see that slow down further into Highway 2 on the heading east. So it would give them the opportunity to be going slower by the time they actually hit that hill.
I would say you 35 at the hill, but 45 should be moved out to the east. Because of
Yeah.
what we recommended in the past from the cities and like that, departments, we don't yet. We'll see how this works out. This would be a
Yeah.
recommended study.
No, and I understand, if we could just change where the 45 sign is right at the bottom of the hill to 35, and that's kind of what I asked. But unfortunately, MDT will not do anything without a speed study to start.
Any other questions or comments on that? All in favor of the motion, say aye. Aye. Okay, we'll get that letter sent out to Montana Department of Transportation requesting that. Yes.
All right. Thank you guys very much. I appreciate it.
Thanks, Chris. Okay, claims, motion to accept claims for $436,079.06.
I'll make a motion.
Second. Big one on there for Exxon,
That's their, should be their dash cam.
$163,978.
Long
I think it was 415 dash cams. Hey, guess I have to do a few additions here. We,
Scores up these claims.
oh, yeah, all in favor of the claims, yeah.
Aye.
Okay, motion passes. Few addition things, we got a contract. Or not a contract, a way to bid out, County Road 1019 bridge culvert replacement from Interstate. It was just kind of a bid package put together. So we can put it out for bids for 2 weeks. So could I have a motion to put out the County Road 1019 bridge culvert replacement project out for bid? We're not accepting anything, we're just putting it out for bid in the paper for 2 weeks.
Make a motion to put that project out for bid.
Second. So that wasn't on the agenda, but it's just needs something to be done and we'll vote on it as we get them in. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Passes, and added, motion to sign the collective bargaining agreement for the road department that we didn't discuss. It was on the agenda in the past. We got a final paper all nice and done up and it has all our stipulations in, so motion to sign this agreement.
Make a motion to sign the union negotiation agreement.
Second. This agreement has basically an addendum of dollar increase for base wages this year, the dollar increase base wages for next year, so it takes care of a 2-year contract. Longevity stays the same. New hires get, if they worked here before, their longevity gets tacked on when they come back. We work here 4 years, leave for 4 years and come back, that 4 years longevity they have. All. Other than that, B2 clause was taken out, and that's all pretty standard stuff.
It's a
Other
good
questions?
negotiation.
We have sheriff's negotiations coming up, July 8th. That'll be our last meeting negotiations. Any questions or comments? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. I guess that's it. Does anybody else have anything, other comments? Business?
Think we're good? I don't have the
Motion,
motion here.
motion to close.
Make a motion.
We're close, thank you.